He say, she say, we say, I say, hearing out them points of views when I see it my way. Yes it goes, yes it knows, maybe so's, probably not. Shoulds.
You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Now, there are a lot of people who think that Kanye was wrong, but we're going to continue to listen some more before we get into full commentary.
Well, CNN says white people are evil Nazis, so I mean, I disagree with both statements, but I get the pros.
I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need to look at.
Oh my goodness! Just because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh man! Well, I have to disagree with that.
Okay, so we're going to definitely listen some more.
I mean, I'm in the twilight zone right now.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
So you don't like Benjamin Netanyahu?
I just heard about this guy 2 weeks ago since like the tweet, and I thought he had a funny name.
Okay. So here's what I want to say when it comes to Kanye. And into that statement. Now, like I said before, I do not always agree with what Kanye West is saying. But do I think that Kanye West doesn't know what he's doing? I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I think that Kanye knows what he's doing. I think he's aware of what he's doing. But I also think that there's still a little bit of imbalance in some of the things on how he delivers his messages, okay? But one of the things what he was talking about, the first part of that, and I'm going to play that again because this is a part that is crucial. And you guys, I did videos. I've done maybe 1,000 or more videos. And I wish I had a team to where they could archive things better for me because I don't know how to do it. But I remember saying that when we were talking about R. Kelly, I remember saying that's saying someone's bad all the time when I was talking about the law, especially when I was talking about the scale. Like when I said it was one-sided, and I also indicated and said that's injustice because that's just like saying someone is just bad all the time, and that's impossible. And then I went on to tell you, like, even Lucifer, the devil himself, was not bad all the time. You got to remember, if you believe in this story, if you believe in Christ, if you believe in the Bible, if you believe in those stories, you have to sit up there and understand he was kicked out of heaven. There is just no possible way. Even if you talking about Charles Manson, even if you talk about Jeffrey Dahmer, as heinous as the crimes that these people have done, there was something in their lives that they done good. There was something in their lives that they done bad. Or they done well, or they helped people. But the fact of the matter is, when they did the gruesome stuff, it outshines the good stuff that they have ever done. So that erases everything. You get what I'm saying? But they still have done it. So I said that to say, I've said that several times on my videos when I was talking law and injustice, especially pertaining to the R. Kelly situation, how everybody want to mute him, do this. I said, like, you cannot do that. This is an overdone. It's an overkill. It's an over sentence. It's over everything, because you're trying to say he was just born demon. He was just this. He was just that. He was just all this awesomeness. You cannot say that someone was all bad all the time, born there. That's impossible. So I get what Ye is saying in this instance right here. And we're going to listen again, because I want everybody to understand this is exactly what I'm talking about. Not his stance when it comes to the Nazis and the J community, but when he making his analogy of you can't be all bad. No one can, not even Hitler. As bad as what they said he has done to the Jewish community, not even him. You get what I'm saying? It's at some point he done something good, whether he was a kid, whether he was a young adult or whatever, before the mass of wrong took over. So let's just look at these things and let's just play it. Okay, here we go.
You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love, us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Okay, so what he was saying was, and people's like, Hitler, people take things literally. You know, they don't go beyond the surface. And I've always told everyone on Spittin Fire to think beyond the surface level. As a matter of fact, it's on my page, with me overseeing Michigan, or Detroit rather, and it says never think at the surface level. And if you're thinking at the surface level, you would think, oh, he like Hitler, and that's it. You have to really think beyond that. You have to really think beyond that. And here's what he's doing. He's smart is what he's doing, because I know exactly what he's doing, and I know exactly what he's saying. And here's what he's doing, right? Here's what he's doing. For one, he's letting people know that you cannot be all bad. It's impossible. It's impossible. Yes, Hitler did what he did, but he has done some great things and have did a whole lot of good things as well. And people don't speak on that because they only speak on the amount of people he killed. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of people did a lot of killing, throughout life, throughout humanity. There's been a lot of killing, and not justifying it. I'm not doing that at all. So don't come out there and saying I'm justifying killing. What I'm saying is, what he was saying is, even though he's done bad and it's horrible what he done, but we cannot lie and say there was nothing good. And that's what I was saying about R. Kelly. Like, y'all can't act like you bad forever. You was born bad. When it was R. Kelly, they tried to go after his mama, his sister, his brother. Everybody, they tried to strip everything, and it was, oh my God, it was crazy to me. And so that's what he was saying. Another thing, why he did this interview, and the reason why he's doing that, is because he's saying some things that he know that community don't like. He's fighting back. And the problem with that is he's doing it alone, right? He's doing it alone. And I think that a lot of other celebrities may not do it in the way he doing it, but definitely take a stand with him. What he's doing is he's fighting his First Amendment. In other words, what he's saying is, you don't like Hitler. but I may like him. And I should be able to say that. And I'm going to say it on these airwaves. And as a black man, just think of what he's doing. You know damn well he's not a part of the Jewish community. You know damn well he don't know Hitler. We know that, or whatever. So for people to take what he's doing literally and saying what he's saying literally to heart and think it is just continued anti-Semitic remarks, no, it's not. What he's doing is he's fighting back the Jewish community, which he needs to be careful, because if too many people start rising up, they will get scared and start knocking people off. But the problem what he's saying is he's trying to say, I can say what I want. If I want to say I love Hitler, I can say that. And that's my First Amendment. And that's nothing wrong with it. And it's not. It's not hateful. It's not hateful for him saying he loved Hitler. Now, how Hitler was feeling and what he's done and some of the bad things he's done, that's on him. But him to say, I love him or whatever, he's not talking about he loved him in the context of him doing the bad things. He's talking about it in the context of him being a human. And furthermore, he's on this podcast saying that because he wants to let everyone know that's my right if I want to say it. I get exactly what he's doing. But last but not least, what he's also is getting at is that there are Jewish community. There are the Germans and the Nazis, and then you have the Jews, right? And here's the thing. So we know that there was some beef there with Hitler and all these type of things. We all know the whole history behind the Holocaust and things of that nature. But what he's saying is the Jewish community was controlling. They're telling you what to say, what you can do, what you can that, and they give you these contracts and all that, and they hold the strings. And the moment you say something you don't like, they pull everything up under you and put you back in your place. And this is something that he didn't want. This is something that he don't want. This is something that he's trying to say, oh, I'm free. And once he came out couple weeks ago and said he's free after they pulled all these contracts, they got furious. Okay? They got furious with him because, oh, now this is what you're saying or doing to get out of your contract. So now they start trying to throw a Me Too in there. And they got people doing all these accusations. And the problem I have with Black America is the fact that they now allowing that. Like, I find it to be so ironic that when he was with these people, Balenciaga, Adidas, and all these type of people, they were fine. Before he said anything, they were fine. The moment he said the remarks, they pulled all his things. And then the moment he said, oh, good, I'm free, now all of a sudden, they coming at him with a Me Too charge. Oh, somebody said that or Me Too time's up. Somebody said that he was inappropriate and you get what I'm saying? And I don't understand why people not in an uproar about it. Now, all of a sudden, now he's won. So, and remember I told you, every male that they want is going to say they sexually assault them. And I just find it to be problematic that Black people are so into themselves and so trying to do themselves and not even like, oh, they have this, well, it ain't me approach, or that's his business. And that is the saddest thing in the world. And this is why we so discombobulated and separate and to ourselves and just can't come together for anything because of this type of situation right here. So I know exactly what he's going, but what he's doing is, with the Jewish community that did all of this stuff with him, he's trying to branch off into his own line. But what he's doing is, I'm telling you what he's doing. And people saying, oh, they're going to bankrupt him. No, he's not. He's giving, for one, another part. What's the other part of the Jews, the Nazis, the Germans? He's getting German business. That's a smart-ass move. So if the Jews are going to turn against me, I'm going to go with the Germans, their enemies. I understand exactly what he's doing. And those people are gonna bag his ass up for making that public statement that he made on the airwaves. See, this is why I believe he wore that mask on the airwaves as well. You know what I'm saying? This mask that he wore on the airwaves, and when he was wearing it before he was down with Balenciaga. Well, we know that Balenciaga had all these type of images that was just, people was just they didn't know what to do or to even think when it came to Balenciaga, right? And all the issues that they had with child pornography and pornography itself and demonization and things of that nature. I don't understand how these people thought that it was going to be okay. So what he did was he came on that show with this headgear on, dressing like Kim Kardashian. Now, this is Kim Kardashian in a Balenciaga outfit that people say represents evil and things of that nature. Now, Kanye West, right after this was posted, Kanye West went on to Rex Chapman's podcast. I mean, not Rex Chapman. He went on to what podcast he was on? He was on Alex Jones. Excuse me. He was on Alex Jones, and he was talking about, Hitler and things of that nature. But he was also taunting his ex and Balenciaga at the same time. Now, if you have noticed, right, and he met with Ray J and everything. Now, if you really want to sit up there and hear my thoughts on this, and here's my thought. I find it to be very ironic that they evict his money from the bank, right? They cancel his deals from Adidas. And then Balenciaga dropped them. Now, Balenciaga and Adidas has merged together to try to get do a collab, okay? And when they was doing this collab, they had this fashion show with Adidas and Balenciaga. So what I noticed that a lot of luxury brands are doing is that they're going with name brands, and they're collabing with luxury. You know what I'm saying? I noticed a lot of them. Like, I noticed a lot of, I think Gucci had done it with Telfar, and Adidas has done it with Balenciaga. And I know that Nike has done it with, like, Louis Vuitton. I'm not for sure if that's the order of what it was. But I know that name brand items such as Adidas and Nikes, okay, and Telfar has collabed with the luxury brand such as the Gucci, the Balenciaga, and the Louis Vuitton. Now, Balenciaga has taken... has been very competitive when it comes to luxury brand. More so, the brand has made so much of a leeway that it kind of put the old-fashioned luxury brand to shame, such as Louis Vuitton. And who took a hit the most from Balenciaga was Gucci, okay? A lot of people are not buying Gucci as much as Balenciaga, and I find it to be ironic on that. And I'm gonna give you a story on that as well. And I'm gonna give you a story on that. No, let me tell you now. So I believe that when Gucci had that hiccup and they ad campaign a few years ago, black people were dropping Gucci. They were dropping them left and right. Balenciaga came, and everybody went over to Balenciaga to replace Gucci because everybody was dropping Gucci. If you remember, T.I. and 50 Cent and all of them was burning Gucci. So Gucci took a big hit. But that's when Balenciaga really kind of blew up. You know what I mean? And especially when Cardi B got her song, and she said in her song, she wear Balenciaga, the ones that look like socks. So when she said that, that brand blew up even more. So as it started blowing up over the last 5 to 6, 7 years, after Gucci took that hit, it was one of the things that, you know, people talking about. Now, what I'm trying to get to is Kim Kardashian has a large and high stake in Balenciaga. So did Ye, because they were married and everything else. But what happened was, when they went after Ye, listen to me now, when they went, and I told you, this boy, he ain't stupid. See, that's why I say he got to be careful, because when they realize he ain't dumb, he ain't one of those ones that gonna just, he ain't stupid. And here's what I'm telling you. Take a listen and pay attention to this. Pay attention to what's happening. Since Ye said what he said, they evicted his money, as I mentioned not too long ago. They canceled Balenciaga. They canceled Adidas, right? And then they had made sure everybody in other stores won't sell Ye's, right? And Yeezys or whatever you call them. And what else? They was doing some other things, right? So he said, okay, well, I will sell some cheaper brand items for $20 and some cheap stuff that everybody can get. Well, people was like, well, people are not going to buy that because black people like name brand things. They like things that cost money because we are materialistic, right? And that can be true. That can be true. But if I'm not going to go for the 13%, even though the 13% is the percentage that really keeps our economy and Wall Street going, I'm going to go for the larger and all around the world. I'm going to go for the cheaper brand, and I have longevity. You know what I mean? Because one thing about name brand stuff is it gets tired, and then you have to stop, and then you have to come out with some other ones and things of that nature. So he said, okay, well, I can do that, because you got to remember, it's not a bad idea. And people keep saying he gonna go broke. No, you got to remember Shaquille O'Neal. You got to remember what he did. He didn't want to sell $100 and $200 gym shoes to children. He sold them for $15.99 at Walmart. Them big old ugly boat Shacks. But guess what? Kids like the name Shaq. Those who like Shaq didn't care that it came from Walmart. There's a whole nother brand of people who have a whole different thought process and don't care about the cost of things. And that's what the people don't understand. There's a whole world out there where people think all differently. And so Shaq made, I'm not talking about like having a deal with someone else. I think Shaq made like $400 million off the Shaq shoes alone. $400 million. You guys, $400 million off them Shaq shoes that was sold at Walmart. Right? So you gotta think, and I was listening to Amazing Lucas. And I'm like, no, you got to think business, because I know exactly what he's doing. So instead of him dealing with the Jewish community, he's going to go over and deal with the German. They made like he said, they made the infrastructure. They made the microphones and electronics. A lot of German stuff make a lot of German manufacturing make a lot of things. He's going to go to where the Jewish community he's going to go to their enemy, basically. And their enemy is going to accept him. And he's going to go even further up. And I'm trying to tell you, that's what he's doing. If they don't try to knock him off first. I'm just keeping it a buck. Because we know if they do it, we know who did it. Come on now. Anytime they give you billions of dollars back, you know your life in danger. So I'm hoping and praying that Ye definitely beef up security. And people thinking what he's saying at the surface level, like this interviewer, Alex Jones, right? and all these other people who say they taking what he's saying out of context of what it really means. Like, you got to dig deeper than what somebody is doing. And that's my take on it. Maybe I'm going even deeper than what it is he meant, really. I don't know. But I really strongly believe that this is the approach he's taking. I've always said he wasn't stupid. I don't agree with his approach and how he do things, because you can be doing things in a more dangerous way, but it's his calling. Who am I to say? All right. And I find that to be very funny. And so what I wanted to say before I got sidetracked. So remember, I was talking about Balenciaga and I was talking about Kim K right here on the screen, right? And so after they did all that with him and all this and that, with taking his name, canceling contracts, what happened? Adidas lost a lot of money. So what they do, they fighting dirty, y'all. They trying to put a Me Too charge on them, right? They trying to do that. But what Ye do? He said, I'm free. So now they fighting dirty and Ye fighting back. I'm telling you, that ad campaign, I believe Ye was behind that shit. Ye was behind this. These three companies with this one particular person in common, all this shit gonna come out all together. So when Adidas did what they did with trying to Me Too Ye, what happened? Demonized. And he was talking about how they was practicing devil rituals and all this and that. Who exposed it first? And then next thing you know, the campaign. Ye playing dirty too. They playing dirty like a mug, y'all. They playing dirty. They being dirty out here. Ye ain't stupid. I'm trying to tell you. I'm just hoping he got his security, and I hope he got some loyal security that won't take no money to try to off him, because we need brothers like this. And I hope the securities, we need this. We need this, because this cancel culture or whatever. So I hope, look, I understand what he doing. So he like, forget it. I'm going to say I love Hitler, and I'm going to go work with the damn Germans. He basically told y'all what his plan is, but y'all ain't paying attention. All y'all heard was him say, I love Hitler. You know at the damn, over here on Spittin Fire, y'all know what I've been telling y'all for years. Always think deeper or beyond, but never think at the surface level. And everybody that's commenting saying he crazy because he said, I love Hitler, they asses is thinking at the surface level, all right? So I just know exactly what's going on. Like I said, I stand with Ye, okay? Not that because I agree with him on what he's saying and how he does things, but I agree with him on his First Amendment. If he want to say he love Hitler, he can say that, and that's his right. I agree with what it is he need to do to get himself back up on top, and I believe he can do it. I believe he is talented, smart, and sometimes the people who are the smartest, they have mental issues, but that's what make them smart. Just like, and I'm just giving this the analogy of like how they say serial killers are. Not saying that Ye is a serial killer, but I'm just saying serial killers have high IQs. A lot of people who say some off things have high IQs. And I'm telling you, I believe Ye is one of them. So that's just my take on it. My take, like I said again, I don't always agree with what he's saying, his approach, but I still stand by him because I still believe in the First Amendment. He can love who he want to love. All right? If that's what he want to do, it ain't bothering me who he love. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, I'm black and I'm still learning myself. I can't get mad at him for saying he loved Hitler when I'm still learning where the hell I come from and who I am. And in the meantime, between time, I think black America should stay out of it and stand by our brother. I'm going to stand by you. Sometimes you got to stand by people right or wrong, or if you think they're right or wrong, because you don't know what somebody's fate or journey is or what they see that you can't see. What he sees is not your vision, but sometimes you need people to stay beside you anyway, and I'm going to do that because I just believe in the First Amendment. I don't believe in slaying a whole culture of people or saying bad things to people or try to get people hurt, But if you know what I mean? But Hitler the one who did some things. If he said he loved him, that's him. That don't mean he loved what he done. That means he could just love him. And he can only love him as a human. Because you have to remember, like he said, he did a lot of other stuff than just kill Jewish. Now, that may have been the main factor because it's human life, but he's a human being too. And at the same time, no one was born all bad. Not even your worst criminal. No one. Well, I don't know. I think it's one group of people that was born bad. This one guy was. I don't know. Because what I heard, the way the story was put, they made it seem like he was born bad. And that's one of the Briley brothers. Okay? But in the I'm just saying. Okay, I keep saying let me get off of here. But I keep talking. But let me get going. All right, thank y'all for tuning in to Spittin Fire. I'm your girl, RA. Fire out.